Wouldn't it be so nice if whenever you did a study, you just generated all this information automatically? Unfortunately, that is not the case. More often than not, I would say all the time probably, you're left with your participant number, the scores that you had before your intervention, and the scores that you had after your intervention. So we still need to make sure that our assumptions are met before we conduct our statistical testing, in order to make sure that that test would make sense for this particular data. So in order to do that, we are going to make a copy of this. So right click on this tab, intervention data, hit move or copy, hit create a copy, and hit OK. This creates an identical copy to the tab we were just looking at. We're going to rename this Intervention Analysis 2, and just for my own sanity, I'm going to drag it next to our Intervention Analysis tab. So our goal here is to make this tab look exactly like this. So we can take a look at these formulas by clicking on our Formulas tab and hitting Show Formulas. Don't worry about any of this right now, you're just looking here. So let's focus on our dependent variable first. That's the most important thing. That's what we're measuring, right? So our Differences tab is showing us C minus B, so post minus pre, is our differences in this scenario. So let's be a little copycat here. Let's go back to this tab really quick and take a look at our hypothesized mean difference. You'll know this before you run a test. You'll know that what your null hypothesis is, so you don't necessarily need this t-test to tell you what your hypothesis is. So in this instance, we know that the hypothesized mean difference was 0. Our null hypothesis stated that there was no difference between the means of these two sets of data here. So that's the only thing we're testing. This means that there's no directionality in our hypothesis. We're not trying to say the post-intervention scores will be lower or higher than the pre-intervention scores. We're just testing the hypothesis that there is no difference. So in reality, when you come over here and calculate your own dependent variable, you could say C minus B, so you could say post minus pre or pre minus post. It doesn't matter which you choose, as long as you're consistent all the way down. The reason it doesn't matter is because there's no directionality in your hypothesis. So in order to copy this formula, just to save you some time, hit this when you see your little cross, click it, drag it all the way down, and that'll copy your formula all the way down.